What's going on YouTube? Hope you guys are all doing well. My name is PawarTrader and today I'm going to be sharing with you why I took this trade right here. It made me nearly 8% of profit and it was on Euro USD. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So lads, I'm here on the Euro USD 4-hour chart. And what can we see here, guys? We can see the price is trending upwards. We can see this demand zone being respected here, another demand zone being respected here, another one here, and another one right here. So we can see that price is essentially trending upwards and demand is in power. So what does this mean, guys? This means that we want to be focusing on buys right now. We don't want to be selling too much unless there's a lot of volatility. But we should be looking for buys in a market that's bullish. Doesn't that make sense? So this is my breakdown for the 4-hour. On the 15-minute, this is what we're sort of seeing right here. What can we see here, guys? Essentially, price reacted off of this zone, and then we had a nice consolidation that got mitigated, and then we essentially got some equal highs right here. So, equal highs, what does that actually mean? It means that a lot of people are going to see this level as resistance. And because they see it as a resistance, they will try and sell on this line here. And what they don't know is the market makers know what these people are doing. Therefore, they treat it as liquidity. So whenever these equal highs present themselves, what happens is price retraces, in this case, and then it just breaks through that level right there. So anyone who's entering off of a zone like this, maybe aiming for their 3-to-1, if they enter here, they're gonna essentially get their stops taken out. Does that make sense? On the 15-minute, we can see that there's a nice pin hammer candle. So a pin hammer candle is where it's got a really big wick on the downside right here, and that's a really good sign, because what that means is sellers tried to push the price down here aggressively. At some point, the price was down here. However, the bulls stepped in, and because they stepped in, this created a huge wick right here. And what was that wick followed by? It was followed by a huge bullish candle. So this tells me that there's a good amount of volume that's coming into the market now. And if there's volume, there's volatility. And if there's volatility, there is opportunity. So this is essentially where I was waiting for an entry. And when I saw price come into this zone, I realized that it was actually a pretty big move right here, as you can see, right? This is not what I want to see typically in my setups, so I decided to wait for another confirmation entry on this zone. So what I mean by that is, essentially I'm waiting for there to be a difference in market structure. So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, another lower low, and I'm essentially waiting for price to create a higher low and a higher high. And once it does that, then I can look for an entry in any of these areas here and then take my profits up here somewhere. Okay, so that's what that essentially means. So let's see what happens on the 5-minute. So price came into that zone, and what do we see happen? All right, you guys see that? We saw that price created a lower low, a lower high, and then it created a higher low. Because if we zoom in, and you guys can probably already see this low didn't actually break this low right here. So this is where I'm thinking, okay, maybe price is gonna switch over to the upside. Maybe the bulls are finally back in. And what do we see after this low? We see a whole lot of imbalance, and we see this high gets breached as well. So at this stage, I'm pretty convinced that price may move in my direction and the bulls are finally in. So now it's time to look for an entry. So this is where it gets a little bit difficult. You can either look for an entry on the 5-minute or on the 3-minute. What does the 3-minute show? 3-minute shows another order block. Me personally, I don't like to enter off of the smaller order blocks if possible. I generally like to look for the higher order blocks because they have a higher chance of getting triggered in. And you know, I like to get more wins. I'd rather have more wins with a smaller risk reward ratio rather than fewer wins with a bigger risk to reward ratio. But that's completely up to you. So for this one, I found my entry on the 10-minute time frame. On the 10-minute time frame, we can see a nice doji candle, and I marked it out from the wick to the other wick, dragged it out, and this was essentially my order block that had presented itself. So I put my entry right here, and I put my stop loss round about here. And yeah, my target was this main high right here. So we drag it out all the way here. That was my entry. It was 1.09491. My exit was 1.09384, and my TP was 1.09899. So this gives me a risk reward of 3.82, so that's nearly 4 to 1. It's a good trade for me, and yeah, let's see what price does. Tapped in, and it hits TP as well. I was actually really glad that I exited right here, because price just came crashing down, and yeah, that would have been pretty scary. Here's my proof of entry that I took the trade. Alright guys, if you enjoyed watching that video, leave a like, it helps me out. And guys, I wanted to share something with you. Apparently 93% of people who watch my videos don't even subscribe. So if you're one of those people, just stop it, mate. Come on.
Stop it. Get some help.
You're better than this. You know it and I know it. So just hit that subscribe button. Additionally, if you'd like to ask me any questions, feel free to send me a message on my Instagram. I'll put it here right now. I reply to all my DMs, so don't be shy. Just slide into my DMs. It's gonna be all good. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.